Hello, this is part 4 of Kidnap, the story of Inspector Tony trying to rescue Mrs. Lim, who was abducted or kidnapped by the kidnappers or robbers who cut off the treasure from Mr. Lim's house. Now, Mr. Lim told Tony that the kidnappers or the robbers told him that within 3 days they will return his wife to him. But apparently after 3 days, there was no sign of Mrs. Lim. So Tony was called by Mr. Lim for help. And Mr. Lim said, I'll offer you any amount. So the fees was discussed and everything, the details were all given. And I think they concluded, Tony didn't tell me this, but I think it was about 5 million Sing dollars. Yeah, before I go on, please don't forget to click on the plus sign button and follow me. Okay, then fortunately, when the robbers robbed Mr. Lim of his treasure, Tony earlier on has already placed a tracking device in the box that contained the treasure. And when the robbers took off the treasure and Mrs. Lim as a hostage, Tony knew more or less where the treasure was. So this time, he switched on his scanner. And remember, this was about 30 over years ago. We don't have mobile phone like what we have now. They use a scanner to scan the whole area, Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. And Tony found that there was a spot where the treasure was kept because the tracker device was in the box. The robbers didn't know about it. And he scanned and he found that it was somewhere in the island of Bintang, which is about 50 kilometers away from Singapore. Straight away, Tony got hold of his team of 4 or 5 people, got the fastest speedboat they could ever get, and they traveled. They sped to Bintang. Within 45 minutes, they reached Bintang. Of course, before that, they carefully planned out, and they knew where the exact location where Mrs. Lim and the treasure was kept. So they went to this place. It was a big house and with a few uniformed security guards, Indonesian, I think. But to cut a long story short, there was a firefight in which Tony shot dead 3 of the guards and managed to take the box of treasure plus Mrs. Lim, brought the whole thing to the boat and then sped off. And the operation sped off to Singapore, and the whole operation took less than 5 hours. Mind you, Tony was really a professional and efficient one. So Mr. Lim trusted him. He managed to bring back all the treasure and Mrs. Lim unharmed, back to Mr. Lim. This is the end of the story. He was rewarded, of course, I told you 5 million or so dollars. But this time, Tony took hold of the whole box of treasure, which is, I think, which was worth, used to be 100 billion, but maybe it's less than that now, maybe $90 billion left of treasure. But Tony seized the treasure, the loot, and he surrendered it to the police in Singapore. So the case was closed. And well, it was a good ending. Mrs. Lim was not hurt. Mr. Lim was not hurt. But he already sold some of the treasure and he pocketed quite a lot of money. Okay, so this is the end of the story. Maybe I'll come up with another one more. Thank you for watching.